Pay well attention to this video. A girl was taking out the money she kept inside her sneakers. She then starts to count the money that was inside and then she puts it back inside the shoe. At that moment, a woman goes up to the girl and says that she wanted to talk to her. The girl then asks what she wanted and the woman says that she wanted to exchange her sneakers with her, as she had really liked the girl's sneakers. The woman says that the sneakers the girl was wearing were bigger than she should have been and that the one she had was the right size. The girl then says that she didn't want to change her sneakers as those were her favorite sneakers. The woman then insists on it, saying that her shoe would be the right size for the girl, but the girl says that she didn't want to switch with the woman. The woman then says that she couldn't believe the girl didn't want to switch shoes with her as the ones she was wearing were too big for her. The girl then says that she really didn't want to change her sneakers as those were her favorite sneakers. The woman then gives up and then says that she would no longer trade with the girl, but that she would give those sneakers to her. The girl is surprised by that and she asks if it was serious. The woman then says yes and says the girl could have her sneakers. As the girl was walking away, the woman was chasing her and was always behind her. Later, the girl goes to a man who was working. She then greets her uncle and asks if he was alright. The man says yes and asks how the girl was. The girl then says that she needed her uncle's help and says that she needed him to buy her some sweets for her mother's birthday. The man then says that he could do that, but asks if she had any money. She then says yes, because some friends of hers from school had collected money and given it to her. The man then says that he needed to finish his work, because if he didn't finish his work, he wouldn't get paid. He then says that he would have a lot of work to do and that he could only help the girl later. She then says that she would wait for her uncle, and then she leaves, but at that moment, the man calls out to her. He then asks where she got those sneakers she was holding. She then says that a woman had given her those sneakers. The man then says that she shouldn't have done that and that her mother had already told her that she shouldn't take anything from strangers. The girl then said that she knew that, but that the woman seemed like a very nice person, so she accepted the gift. The man then says okay and tells the girl to come back later so he can help her. At that point, the woman goes up to the man and says that she wanted to ask him a question. The man then says that she could ask the question, and then the woman asks the man where that girl lived. He suspects that and then asks who she was and what she wanted with the girl. She then says that it didn't matter who she was as the girl knew her and that she had some of her stuff. The man then asks the woman what she wanted with the girl and says that she was his niece. The woman is surprised by that and asks if it was true. He then says yes and asks if the girl had done something to the woman. The woman then says she wanted to tell the man the truth and then says that she was after the girl because she had her sneakers. The man then says that he knew his niece very well and that she wouldn't be capable of that. The woman then says that the man didn't know her niece well, as she had broken into her house and stolen her sneakers. The man then says that she could say whatever she wanted, as he would not believe that his niece had done that, as he knew her very well. The woman then says that the man didn't know his niece well enough, as he didn't realize she had a stolen sneaker. The man then says that she could say whatever she wanted, because he knew the education that the girl had received from her mother and that she would never do something like that. The woman then tells the man where the girl lived, but he said he wouldn't tell her. The man then tells the woman to leave his niece alone and asks her to leave. She then said that she couldn't do that as the girl had her sneakers on, but the man says he didn't want to hear that anymore as he needed to get back to his work. Meanwhile, another woman was talking to a well, and she asks him why he is angry. He then says that the woman had woken him up very early and that he was angry about it. She then says that it was her birthday and that she had woken her husband up early as she wanted to go out with him to celebrate. The man then mocks the woman, saying he didn't care about her birthday. She then says that he could be a little more understanding with her, as he knew that her birthday was a very important date for her. He then says that he would get the food for the woman, but that she should remember that they didn't have enough money for that kind of thing. She then says that she had not woken her husband up at that time, as she wanted him to get her something to eat. She said that she had woken up her husband so that they could spend time together. The man then says that she should stop that, because birthday was just another common date. She then says that she now understood that her husband didn't care about her. The man then says that his wife was a very annoying person and that he didn't want to be around her anymore at that moment. He then says he was going to get something for her so he could get away from her. She then gets very sad about it and says that her husband didn't even wish her happy birthday. Later, the man is walking down the street when he runs into his daughter and asks whose sneakers she was holding. The girl then says that a woman had given those sneakers to her. The man then takes the sneakers from his daughter and tells her that she shouldn't have accepted the woman's sneakers. The girl then asks why her father took her sneakers and says that it was a gift for her. The man then says that she already had sneakers and that she shouldn't have taken someone else's sneakers. He then says that he was the girl's father and that she should respect and obey him. The girl then apologizes to her father, but says that it was her mother's birthday. The man then says that he knew that it was her mother's birthday, but that it didn't matter. The girl then says that she wanted to go to a bakery to buy a cake and some sweets for her mother. The man then says that she was a lot like her mother and that he didn't like that behavior. He then says that he would buy the candy for her mother and asks her to hand over the money to him. She then says that she wasn't going to hand over the money to her father, that she was going to buy the sweets herself. The man then asks his daughter where she got that money. She then says that she had sold some things at her school and that her friends had helped her by buying her things. The man then asks the girl to hand him the money and then the girl removes the money from her sneakers. She then hands the money to her father and the man is surprised by that. He says there was a lot of money there and the girl said she knew about it. She then takes the money from her father's hand and then runs away from there. Seeing that, the man says that the girl was very insubordinate and that she needed a lesson. Later, the girl's uncle comes to her house and then greets the girl's mother. He then wishes his mother a happy birthday and says that she looked very beautiful. He then asks his mother where her brother was and then she says that he had already left for work, but that he hadn't even wished her a happy birthday. He then gets sad about it and says he thought his brother would get time off on his wife's birthday. He then asks his mother where the girl was and then she says that by the time she should be coming back from school. He then says that, unlike his brother, the girl had asked him to help buy the sweets, which were for her mother's birthday. This makes the woman very happy and she asks if the man was telling the truth. He then says yes, but asks her not to say anything, as the girl said this would be a surprise for her. He then says that he needed to leave because he needed to help the girl buy candy for her mother's birthday. He then leaves and says goodbye to the woman. Later, the girl was returning from the bakery and then she says that her mother was very special to her. Later, the woman was at her house when the girl arrives and starts singing happy birthday to her. She then shows the cake that she had bought for her mother and this makes the woman very happy. They then hug and the woman said she was very happy that her daughter did that for her. The girl then says that her mother was very special to her and that she would not fail to celebrate her birthday. The woman said that her daughter was a very special person to her and that she was very happy to have her in her life. The girl then says that she knew her mother liked that cake a lot and so she had worked hard to get it for her mother. She says that her mother was the most special person she had in her life and that she would do anything to make her mother happy. She said she had sold some stuff at her school for that. The woman says that her daughter knew her very well and that she knew well that that was the cake she liked the most. The girl then tells her mother that when she was going to the bakery to buy her mother's cake, she had run into her father. She says that her father had tried to take the money she had made by selling her things to buy other things. The woman then says that she couldn't believe her husband had done that. She said that her husband had not wished her a happy birthday and, moreover, had tried to take her daughter's money. The girl then says that her father had done something strange and that she doesn't recognize him anymore. The woman then says that the girl's father had a good heart, but that he has been acting very strange lately. At this moment, the man begins to listen to their conversation. He begins to wonder why he is treating his wife and daughter so badly. The girl then tells her mother that her father must be very worried about all the bills he has to pay and that must be why he is acting strangely. The woman then says that her life was very smart and that she was very proud of it and then, they hug. The man then starts to think about what he was doing and says that he would solve the situation. He then goes to his wife and daughter and says that he wanted to talk to them. The woman then asks what the man wanted to talk about and he says he wanted to apologize for the way he was treating them. He says that was his wife's birthday, but that he had not given enough importance to that date. She then says that she was very sad with her husband for the way he had treated her, as he had treated her very badly. He then says that that was the reason he left his job early, because he wanted to spend his wife's birthday with her. The woman then says that if that were true, she would be very happy that her husband did that. The man then says that that was true and that he wanted to spend more time with his family. He said that from that moment he would be a new man. The woman then thanks her husband and says they really needed to spend more time together. They then hug and say they love each other.